always been an advocate that the major problem in Nigeria is corruption. I've always been saying that. Many people sometimes agree, some people don't agree with me. I have always been saying that over the last few years, and I've had a different fora with pastors. People have different views. I say it's not religion, it's not regions, it's corruption. So she told me, he said painfully, he was sharing his experience in government. And he said painfully, he said, Reverend, this country is like and that in stock, and I'm going to use it today. This country is like a woman that has been gang raped by all kinds of men, abused her, defenseless. Imagine a defenseless 57-year-old grandmother who had been gang raped several times by different men. And in that room, she's quite defenseless. She's asking who will help me. And just outside that room, you find a queue of more men waiting to go and take their own turn to rip her of her resources, take her of her beauty, just take and use, perhaps abuse, brutalize her. All they want to do is just go in, get out, and do theirs to satisfy their carnal desires and sexual longing on her. There are so many urges that we all have to be billionaires, to be this. All they care about is just use her and then dump her. As that man made that hypothetical illustration, my heart completely resonated with that. I said, that's true. That's the present state of this nation. And he says to me, he said, when I resumed my office, what he was telling me when he resumed in government, that he called all the staff of the government, of his own agency, and he told them this. And he told them that you can do one of these three things, all of you here. One, join them to rip this old defenseless lady off. You go in, do your own, and get out. Two, do nothing. Sympathize with her and say, hey, look at this woman, oh, they are killing her, oh, she's defenseless, oh, look at her. Three, defend her. And when he uttered defender, something struck within me. Maybe it's time I defend this woman. Because all of us do the first two. Few people do the third one. People don't like to defend that 57-year-old grandmother called Nigeria. This 57-year-old grandmother has been gang raped of $400 billion since independence. And when you look at her, you find nothing good in her. No development, no infrastructure, no schools, no hospitals. They've taken everything from her. And guess what? More people are waiting to go and do theirs. More people are queuing on the line saying, I have to do mine. I don't care if this woman cries, she screams, she's defenseless, she's weak, she's dying. I don't care. Let us kill it. Let's kill the woman. Let's finish the entire thing. I have to go and take my own too. Nobody's got conscience enough to do the right thing, to say, wait a minute, this is wrong. What we're doing to this woman is wrong. If you see other countries, they don't treat their own women like that. The mother, we call it a motherland. They take care of that mother. They defend that mother. They protect that mother. Because whatever is going to come from her, it belongs to all of us. All these diversionary tactics are not going to help us. The problem of Nigeria is corruption. Yorubas are very corrupt. Igbos are terribly corrupt. Hausas are monumentally corrupt. Corruption is the biggest religion in Nigeria. Christians, 50%. Muslims, 49%. Corruption, 98%. You didn't get that? It's the third religion, but the biggest religion. We worship corruption. We worship corruption. Muslims, Christians, all of us. So corruption is the biggest. It has more followers in Nigeria. That's what the Bible says in Proverbs chapter 14, verse 34. Righteousness exalts a nation. It's not oil and gas. There are countries without natural resources and they are exalted. Righteousness exalts a nation. But sin is a reproach to a people. And we don't want us to preach righteousness. They don't want us to preach righteousness. They don't want us to preach it. Righteousness exalts. You can't break it. Righteousness exalts a nation. China, they are There's zero tolerance for corruption in China. You know it. They kill their ministers. They're not envying them that they're exalted. How would they be exalted? It's not a Christian country. Some of those Muslims who are envying, they're not Christian countries, but they cannot stand corruption. The Asian tigers, they're not Christian countries. They serve Tao, but they cannot stand corruption. So those people are fulfilling scriptures, for righteousness has exalted them. And you have church on every street. There's no meeting in Nigeria, they don't do opening prayer. There's no meeting. When corrupt people sit to meet as governors, shall we do prayer? Who is praying? Governor, this you pray for us. We have even corrupted religion. So the elite planned it. They said, for us to stop these people from fighting us, because one day they will fight us. Yes. What do? Let's go to the pastors. Why? The pastors also control their soul and their mind. We will control their destiny. So let us corrupt the clergy. So politician plus clergy equals 100 million mumus. Because when they want to rise up, we send Pastor P to them. We say, pray for our leaders. God has called us to pray for our leaders, that God will give them wisdom. Let's pray. Okay. They just quell it. So I call it unholy alliance. Because the church too is involved. The cathedrals we're building is built with corruption loot. It's not that an offering. It's government money. Oh, you don't know. You don't know. I'm telling you. I'm telling you if you don't know. Now you know. I've studied my Bible. I found out the Esther agenda is the only solution to this country's problem. Esther, or Hadassah in the Bible. Fantastic woman. She became queen of a massive country, over 127, from India to Ethiopia. Big, large, massive. The capital was called Susa of Medes and the Persia. Massive. That King Xerxes was the son of King Darius, who overthrew the son of King Nebuchadnezzar in the book of Daniel. Because Daniel went into exile called Babylon. Belshazzar was the son of Nebuchadnezzar that ruled Babylon. And God told him, Mene tekel saying, I've weighed you, I'm angry with you. You took sacred things, so your kingdom will go. So a king called Darius came, the Medes and the Persia, two nations came and they won Babylon. So that was how, because God warned him with his finger and then the guy left. So the Medes and the Persians came and they won Darius. So Babylon the Great became Babylon, nobody anymore. So Darius ruled, and the same Daniel was still ruling Darius' kingdom. Now his own son is King Xerxes that ruled, and then Queen Esther was there. So you can see the link of how Esther became queen. And Vashti had to leave the palace for Esther to come to the palace. So very, very simple story. But then there was a guy called, listen to me, a guy called Haman. Listen. Haman was promoted by the king. I'm going to tell you the three characters in the book of Esther. Three characters. There's Mordecai, the uncle of who? Cousin of Esther. Because his uncle was Esther's father. So they were cousins. But he worked in the palace. He was a Jew, but working in the palace, like working in Aso Rock. I'm going somewhere. A Jew working where? In Aso Rock. Not Christian, I say Jew, because I don't use the word Christian today. God's people working in the palace. Haman was working in the palace. I'm going somewhere. The king was ruling in the palace. Vashti left the palace. Mordecai prayed and brought Esther in. Esther won the beauty competition and became queen. But he was working outside like the doorkeeper, while Haman was like the prime minister of the palace. So they were there in the palace. Then something happened. Watch me, and all of you should listen to me carefully. Haman came out after he was promoted. Chapter 3, book of Esther. And was going. Everybody, according to the custom, would bow. Your Excellency, Your Excellency, Your Excellency, Your Excellency. Mordecai did not bow. I consider that rude and disrespectful. Mordecai, you should bow now. Mordecai says, I have nothing personal against this man. 1, watch me. 2, watch me. I have nothing personal against this man, but I have an issue with the policy. Mordecai knew who he was. If I ask you, who are you? You don't know who you are. You knew I am a Christian, a Jew first before I am a Persian. So his faith superintended over his loyalty to his God was bigger than loyalty to the king. Even though he had foiled a coup for the king. To show that I am loyal to the king, however, I love God more than I love you. So if you bring any law out that runs contrary to my faith, I will not. Am I communicating? So that was what happened. And in this church today, and in many other churches, we all have different views concerning that issue. Because if you are in Mordecai's shoes, some of you will bow. You say, play it wise. Be wise. You are being stupid and overzealous. So because of Mordecai, now say you want to kill the Jews. So from that passage, they started calling him the enemy of the Jews. That was his mistake. Not enemy of Mordecai. Enemy of the Jews. I'm going to finish them. Watch me, watch me. So he wrote a law, and the king approved it, or a policy, or something like a law. So that's what I'm going to. That law was quite satanic and diabolical. And so Haman heard, Mordecai heard, and started to cry. And all Jews across 127 provinces, from India to Ethiopia, will be, just imagine the present day map of India to Africa will be wiped off the face of the earth because of Mordecai's sin. Mordecai felt personally responsible for that decree. He tore his garments, watch me, tore his clothes, went outside, cried, and bought ashes on his head. Look at what I've done to my people. And Esther, the cousin, heard inside. What is happening to my cousin? Watch me, watch me. Okay, please, bring those suits. Go and give him garment. You miss that? What they do to us when we are crying. They send you five loaves bread and you take it. They send you envelope, gifts from where? The palace, and we take it. Ghana must go. Go and read it. Mordecai said, I don't want these garments. I don't want gifts from the palace. I want us to deal with the issue. The issue is still there. Don't appease me with some gifts. In today's palace, there are Esthers, there are Hamans. Esthers always keep quiet when the oppressed are being killed. They are there right now, and they all forget it's temporary. Power is transcendent in nature. It's your turn today. You can be removed tomorrow. Tell them that do this for your people. Let your name enter the book of the Chronicles of those that fought and stood for the oppressed, for the people of God. And watch me. Esther, when she heard that, listen to me, everybody. Listen to me. Listen very carefully. Nobody becomes great in life without taking risks. As I said, if I perish, I perish. Esther said, there's a law. The king, watch me, must only invite you for you to come. If anybody shows up in his own court without being invited, you stand the risk of losing your head from your shoulders. You will cut it off. That's the risk. The risk is life and death. I may die, but you know what? Go and fast 3 days. Let all Jews fast and pray. I'm going to go to that place. And if I perish, I perish. Hey, we don't have the if I die spirit. We don't take risks. People like to play safe. People like to play safe. Church people. You church people, they've taught you to play safe. You are neither here nor there. Even in the offices, we don't know that you don't speak in tongues, you don't pray. We don't know you're a Christian. You just play safe. You play to the gallery. You please everybody. You just be popular. As I said, I will take a decision that may cost me my life. We should always celebrate that woman for her virtue and for her courage. She was a gladiator. For her courage. I'm going to fight this, and if I die fighting, so be it. Read the Bible. She said, if I perish, I perish. Because if there was a risk, there was a chance that she would perish. And she knew that this guy could remove her. Because Vashti was removed. Vashti was removed. Not killed though, but removed. For a lighter offense. So the man may be in his different mood. You enter the place, not be invited. He can say, God, what are you here? Because you don't know his moods. Maybe losing a war right now. What? Who invited you here? Leave. So Esther went after fasting on the third day. Watch me. And the king held out his scepter to touch it. To say, it's okay. Your life is in my hands. My queen, lovely queen, come here. What troubleth thee? What do you want? He said, Your Highness, I would like you to please grant me one prayer. What is it? He said, the half of my kingdom I will grant you. Just one request. What is it? By the way, I didn't say it to you. Haman had paid. Haman even offered the king money for the lives of the Jews. 10,000 talents. Even offered them money to add to the treasury. And those days, I'm going to make more money for you, sir. How? Kill this woman. Take it. Make me money. People are preaching it to a point where I'm so disgusted. And these are Christians. Do you read your Bible at home? Do you read the Bible at home? How can you hate a human being? Have you watched movies of Rwanda? How can you hate a human being that much? When I see the way they beat dogs, I get angry. Not a human being. You hate each other that much? Why? Why? Because they are playing like porn. The politicians are playing you. When they finish playing us, they go to their own room and discuss how to steal more money. They go out. You say this, I will say that. They are friends. Those politicians are friends. They are only playing us against ourselves. Those guys, if you see when they meet in Aso Rock, you'll be shocked. Are these the people speaking? They say, make a contract for a place. They'll be eating together. They steal together. United in iniquity. But using you because they know you people don't have brains. Say, oh, Nigerians don't have brains. Let's just play together. Let's play the different cards. Haman now went home. And the way I said, build gallows to hang Mordecai. Since you now have favor with the queen, in addition to the king. So he built this big gallows. Watch me. He himself did not know that people don't like him. He didn't like him. He just kept quiet. Because when I read the passage, he was one of the people that told the king, Esther, Esther. Actually, he built a gallows for Mordecai. Can we go and hang him there? The king did not know. It's the people that the king that told the king, sir, yes? This man you're angry with, yes. He built a gallows for Mordecai. Can we go and hang him? Go, thank you, sir. Yeah, come here. He had many, and he didn't know he had enemies. That night, God gave the king a troubled dream. He couldn't sleep. So he picked up the books and said, what is my wife calling this dinner for? Is there something I've not done or I've done? Let me see, maybe this man is angry with me that I've not done something. In going through the books, because she had the dinner for day one, she said, let's do another dinner tomorrow. What is this man really bothered about? She wants to see me again. There must be something. Let me go and pick this book and find out. Maybe there's something. And then he found out that Mordecai had helped to foil a coup. And nothing had been done. So he now called. So they said, who is out there? They said, Haman. They said, come, Haman, please, quickly. What should be done for the man that the king wants to honor? I hope we still have dinner tonight. Yes. What can be done? He thought it was him. And he wrote the promotion letter for his enemy. Thinking he was writing his own promotion letter. Because Haman really wished himself good. He wished his enemy evil. That good that he wished for himself. If we can only wish it for all ourselves, you will see that this place will be better. Envy too much. Jealousy too much. hatred too much. You really wish evil for your people. Why? So he didn't know, sir, give him your robe, put him on your horse, give him your ring. Abba. The only thing he didn't ask for, read it, was the crown and the throne. He gave him everything and the wife. He would have said, give him your wife to sleep with. So the king said, now rise. And he said, make sure one of your princes do it. You are the prince that will do it. To who? To Mordecai. Yes, sir. Why? Do you know, he followed the court, I didn't even know. Now, go. Because we have dinner in the evening. Hey, whoa, the man went. Mordecai, the man I built gallows for. He means gallows is riding horses. He means that. From gallows to horse. All of us here, at that point you're riding horses, you will come and share testimony in church. That's what I'm going to. We are not concerned with systemic issues in the nation. The problem is still there. May he be appointed as DG. After appointment, the problem is still there. He rode the horse, truly. But the problem was still there. The Jews were still going to be killed. The system, the law, was still against his people. Watch me. Point 2. So he went to the dinner that night, and you know the story. Before that time, his wife had warned him. If that guy, you say, was a Jew, and that God has begun to prosper, you have finished. Though. Why? Those Jews, you just came back home crying that the gallows prepared for this guy. God said, the king said, you put him on the house. This guy that you've begun to fall before, you will fall forever. So he went to the dinner miserable, and the queen now told the king, sir, this man has made a law against my people. My wife. The king, in his anger and rage and fit of fury, just ran out of his bedroom. Bam. Went to his garden. That shall go. To come begin to think, what do I do? How can I do this? This guy. He was just thinking, what do I do? Let me go back inside. He went back inside, found the man on the bed. The man on the bed begging for his life. Queen, please, I beg, queen. I don't know, say you be Jew. Yeah, I don't. Will he also stab my wife? The Bible says, as the word came from his mouth, because he had more enemies in the kingdom. The king had not issued a decree. He said they put rope on his head. They took him out. The king did not say carry him out. He only said, will you also have my wife? No worries, I will deal with it for you. Because he had more enemies. So tell the Hamans in the palace, they have more enemies even in their own midst. In Aso Rock, in Alasa, they don't know. There are more enemies within than you know without. They put someone on his neck. What do we do, sir? Sir, he even made the gallows. They already had cooked up what to do with him. The king said, go and kill him. And that was how Haman lost his life. Forever. And the king said to Esther, bring Mordecai in, do everything you want to do. The half of my kingdom is yours. Mordecai, take over the position of Haman. Put your hands together, everybody. But that's not the end of because all of you at that point will come to church and do thanksgiving. He has done for me. He has done for me. What my father cannot do. Selfish Christians. It did not stop there. Problem is still there. Systemic problem is still there. There was still a law that says they should kill the Jews. Many of us tend to fight Hamans and we ignore the system. The system that created an Haman will produce another one. If this Haman dies, it will produce another Haman. So Esther and her cousin said, we have to change this law because our people are still going to die. Nigerians are still going to have problems. The problem is not Jonathan. The problem is not Buhari. If you remove them, remove the Hamans, the problem is still there that says our people will be impoverished forever. There is still a system, a law in this country that says Nigerians will be impoverished forever. If you vote these people out, it will still be the same. It will only produce another Amen. So what do? Change the law, change the system, fight corruption. So the question is, Rev Kasali, you've taught us now that even if you hang Haman, because they are all in the palace, the only way to change Nigeria is to pray God to give us an alliance between Esther and Mordecai. Because they were the two that God used in the palace to change the system. That's why I'm telling you, people like Pastor Pedro cannot change it. Because you are outside the palace. Christians must go to politics. You can only change that law when you are in the palace.